Hello, SVI members, Alex here. So today's date is 16th of March 2026. As I'm doing this video, the timer is about 3:20 p.m. Okay, so just to let you know, the March school holiday has started. So most likely tomorrow, I won't be doing the public live stream. Okay, trying to spend some time bring my daughter out. Okay, for some activity. So don't have the time to prepare the materials. So okay, just announcement here. Okay, there will not be any public live stream tomorrow. Okay, and also just to let you know that for this coming week, okay, the calendar. Okay, so as I'm not doing the public live stream, so this coming Wednesday, there's this inflation data, the PPI, and then Wednesday past midnight Singapore time, there's Singapore time Thursday at 2 a.m. There will be the FOMC meeting where most likely the interest rate will stay remains the same. It is actually what the Fed will say after 2:30 p.m. Okay, that could potentially move the market and get more volatile. So be aware that after 2:30 p.m. On Thursday, that there could be more movement. And then on the day itself at Thursday 8:30 p.m. there is this unemployment claim over there. All right. So let's have a recap of what I mentioned last week over there. So this is the members area on the 9th of March 2026 over there. Okay, so I mentioned that the in the Telegram chat, okay, that there is this large put debit spread. Basically, it is a bearish, downside move over there. There is a magnet towards the 660 strike on the S&P 500, which is corresponding to S&P about 6,006 lah. So if we actually go to the market updates over there, I mentioned that there is it over there? Yeah, so this is the one that I mentioned there. Okay, there is a put debit spread over there. So if you actually go to the S&P 500 over there, all right, so you can see that price is pinning at somewhere back to 660. Pinning means that price is gravitating toward that specific price level. So you can see that last Monday price was at price gap down, also at about 660 level there. So 661. Okay, now it is also at on Friday closes at about 662 over there. So it is very close to this 660 level again. Okay, so if I were to not look at the so this is the price action, right? So this is the naked chart over there. So if I were to add in the usual cloud and everything, okay, if there is no options flow context to me, I would be pretty much very bearish. But even though the options flow were bearish, but it is actually not downright bearish. Okay, there was still some pockets of bullish flow over there. Okay, so that gives me the different perspective. So I wouldn't like fully going into shorting the S&P or the Nasdaq and such lah. So just let you know, okay, the options flow does give me another perspective. Okay, all right. So just looking at price action, I will be very bearish, but looking at the options flow giving me additional context. Okay, I'm bearish, but not exactly outright bearish. Okay, all right. This is what I'm just trying to share with you, that the options flow does give me another context over there. Anyway, all right. Just moving on over there. So the biotech, okay, I actually shorted. Okay, previously I mentioned. So price did actually went a bit higher. Okay, closing towards the CPR level before price go down again. So I decided I will just exit the biotech ETF, okay, with some profit. And then on the PACCAR that manufacture heavy duty truck, okay, this is PCAR, which I also exited over there on PACCAR. So price actually came down on PACCAR as well. Okay, these are two good short trades over there. All right. So I also mentioned that last week was not the best time to initiate a new short position because okay, of the initially the Monday S&P actually get down. Okay, all right. So after that price really does rebounded. Okay, before price came down again. So it is also pretty hard, okay, to short on Monday onwards lah, okay. But you know, if you have never shorted, didn't short yet, okay. All right. So gold, I mentioned that gold flow was turning bearish, but at the end of the day, okay, I didn't have much conviction to short lah. I mean that, you know, I didn't really find just I was a little bit hesitant, okay. So when a little bit hesitant, a bit unsure, so I did not short. But you know, it turned out that, you know, price did, okay, went down, okay, did go down. So if you actually go to take a look at the gold futures over there, okay, after that price on a Monday, okay, on Tuesday price went higher, then there's a wash and rinse, okay, price go down. So if you actually did some swing trade, there will be some profit from that. So this is from gold. So gold is actually turning bearish last week, but this week actually the sentiment flip. So you know, I wouldn't be looking to like, you know, looking to short again. Okay, then I'll go through more on the options flow data again. All right, so the energy crude oil sector, okay, crude oil, okay, bullish call buying. So if you actually take a look at oil, okay, price of oil is actually priced on Monday after it dropped down, okay, price still continue to go higher, but it is actually still very hard to trade oil because, you know, it is very volatile. It is very volatile, and you know, you can get stopped out very easily. So I still think that it is very difficult to trade oil unless you can stomach the volatility, or else it is not that easy, okay, to put the stop loss level, okay. And this is Bitcoin and such. So this is basically what has happened last week. All in all, the options flow, okay, still pretty much accurate. I think they're pretty much accurate over there, like, overall in a general sense, okay. All right, so this is the summary for last week over here. Okay, so for this coming week, okay, so for this coming, okay, so before I go into that for this coming week, okay, so just want to share with you here first. So this is the decision point gallery over here. Okay, so this is a overview. You can see, okay, from the market breadth, okay, percentage of stocks above their 20, 50, and 200-day MA. So you can see that the breadth has actually plunged down, okay. The percentage of stocks above the 20-day MA, it is only 23%. Percentage of stocks above their 50-day MA, only about 30%, okay. 200-day MA, it is below 50%. So in a way, you can say that, you know, the long-term trend, okay, more than half, it is below the 200-day MA. So more than half is actually, you know, in a downtrend, okay, long-term wise. All right. So short and mid-term wise, it is also in a downtrend. So you can see that we are gearing towards the more of the extreme downside already. Okay, more towards the at the lower side already. So you know, there's a possibility that, you know, price can rebound anytime also. Okay, and if you take a look at the McClellan oscillator, this is based on the S&P 500. Okay, we can see that, oh, it is actually at a low already, at a swing low already. Prior to that, okay, if you want to go any lower, it is, you know, all this low over there. And typically when it is at a low, okay, it typically marks the so-called bottom or a swing low as well. So from here, okay, even though it doesn't seem like it dropped a lot, okay, but on the McClellan side of things, it is at a swing low. So there's a possibility, okay, based on the market breadth, price action perspective, okay, price could rebound. And if you take a look at the McClellan on a NYSE, NYMO over there, this is based on stock chart, okay. So we are also at a low over there. So based on price alone, okay, on market breadth, okay, you know, there could be a rebound, okay, and the sentiment is also actually quite bearish, okay. So that possibly, okay, this week, okay, towards the OPEX, okay, possibly price maybe could stage some rebound and such. To be honest, is really hard to tell, okay. And if you add in the looking at the price itself, in fact, you know, there was a potential star reversal signal, okay, last Thursday on the S&P cash index. Nasdaq don't have. Okay, futures wise, okay, S&P there's a there is a star reversal. Russell 2000, okay, this is the Russell 2000 futures. There is also a star reversal signal over here. Okay, if you add in the RSP, this is the equal weight S&P 500. There is also a potential star reversal signal over here. So price action wise, okay, there could be maybe a rebound this week, okay, heading into OPEX. But we won't know what is the magnitude of the rebound. How high the rebound can go, it is hard to tell. Okay, price could just rebound a little bit higher, okay, and then we just come down. Okay, all right. So this is based on the price action perspective over there. Okay, all right. So if you actually look at this data for this coming week over there, okay, the bullish stocks, okay, bullish stocks over there, and the bullish ETF, okay, bearish stocks, okay. In fact, both data, so-called both side, okay, the two camps, there are decent number of stocks over there, okay, and the bearish stock, there's also decent number of stocks over there, okay. And the ETF wise, okay, something that caught my attention, okay, is that you can see that there is a lot of bonds, okay. Of course, the very usual one like the TLT, okay, it is not there, but you can see that I think SHY is SHY there, no? Okay, I thought I saw SHY. Yeah, SHY it is. The SHY is the 1 to 3 years treasury bonds instead of the 20 plus years. So all in all, you can see that there is a lot of bonds, 3 to 7 years treasury bonds. It is over there. Okay, all right. So you can see, okay, that possibly bonds there could be a rebound. Okay. All right, so possibly bonds, there could be a rebound. And if you add in the treasury bonds, the TLT over there, okay, it is actually showing a potential star reversal signal over there on a Friday. Of course, price for the past 2 weeks or so is in a very sharp downside move. It seems very scary now. Okay, I mean that after a V-shape, inverse V-shape, okay, after that very bullish, then after that very bearish over there, okay. So it can be very difficult to trade as well. But and of course price action perspective, it is below the CPR and such. So but you could be looking at the, let me see whether the Elder Force Index there is the green dot over there. Yes, okay. Elder Force Index, okay, there is also a green dot. So it means that price is actually oversold as well. Okay. All right. So if you see the seasonal trend, let me see the seasonal trend for the treasury bonds as well. Okay. Okay, it is a bit choppy. Okay, it's a bit choppy over here. Okay, by right, this coming week, you can see that over there. Okay, there should be some by right rebound, but overall it is a bit choppy, okay. But okay, like I mentioned, okay, green dot plus the star reversal signal over there, okay. I'm actually looking at potentially a long over there, because if you add in, I think I was a little bit ahead of myself over there. All right, so the TLT here, let me just do a search, is easier. Those options flow I've already posted here in the Alpha group chat over there. So you can see that the TLT, okay, for this coming week, okay, it is actually mildly bullish. Last week one was actually bearish, okay. All right, so overall the net delta, net premium is overall it is actually bullish. But if you focus on the 0 to 9 DTE and the 10 to 60 days, it is actually positive. All right, so the flow is actually leaning bullish, okay, on bonds heading into the OPEX. Okay, so the longer term one, I'm not so interested because it doesn't help us. And the options flow could change anytime, okay, moving forward in the new coming week and such. So I'm actually more interested in the 0 to 9 and the 10 to 60 days one, shorter term. So we take 1 week at a time. I repeat, we take 1 week at a time or 1 to 2 weeks at a time. Don't be looking so far ahead yet, okay? So looking at the short-term wise, there could be some upside heading into bonds. So with the bonds flow positive, okay, the seasonal data, it is positive, okay, there's a green dot over there, there's a oversold plus the bullish reversal signal over there, okay, I mean that the potential star reversal signal, okay, I will be looking at bonds this coming week, okay. Of course, we have to wait for a trigger to enter, not just blindly enter. I repeat, not just blindly enter, okay. Okay, so that wait for the wash and rinse setup over there, okay. So let's say, for example, this was the low on the Thursday. So the low was 86.78. 86.78 over there. So let's see whether this coming week, okay, price can go above the wash line, okay, then I'll be interested to go for long on the treasury bonds. Okay, so this is for the treasury bonds over there. And yeah, so other than that, on the data, I mean that, in fact, for this coming week, in fact, surprisingly, there is no signal, no trigger over there. So in fact, one member asked me, hey, this week, no signal, is it a error or what? Yeah, this week for now, okay, based on the data for this coming, there is no signal for now, okay, no signal for now. So if you add bull, there's nothing, okay, yeah, so it is right, there's nothing, okay, and then for bear, okay, there's nothing for now. Based on Friday close, there's no wash and rinse trigger on all these stocks, that's listed here for this coming week, okay, Sunday to Sunday. All right, okay, for this coming week, nothing, right? So if you want to see whether there's any trigger, we have to look for this coming week. Refer back to the screener for potential entry once again. Okay, so this is the board over there. And okay, let's head over to the options flow over there. Okay, so I already posted on the options flow over there. Okay, so before I go into indices over there, let's head to see gold first. Okay, so you can see that this is March 16. Okay, I posted today. Okay, so you can see that once again, okay, the gold flow is back to bullish again. All right, so overall is positive premium, positive delta. 0 to 9 DTE positive, 10 to 60 days also positive. All right, so it is tilted towards the upside again. But there's a divergence between gold and silver. Silver one was actually bearish, okay, but okay, the 0 to 9 DTE one, it is also positive, okay, so meaning that okay, there's a maybe a good chance that this coming week, okay, the price of gold and silver, okay, possibly okay could have some upside over there. Last week was bearish, so it is correct right now, okay. Possibly this week, okay, can hit higher, and we are also heading once again back to the central pivot range over here, okay. And let's see whether there's potentially there could be a wash and rinse reversal back again, okay. Yeah, so this is gold. I could be looking at gold as well for this coming week or so. So this is gold. And energy wise, okay, you can see that this is the energy sector. 0 to 9 DTE is negative delta, 10 to 60 days it is also negative delta as well. Okay, I won't go through every single one of them. I mean that for those in the alpha group chat, you can read through the information. If you don't understand, okay, you can just chat with me in the group chat. Okay, right, so you can see the XLE over here. Okay, yeah, even though it continues to go higher, but the flow continues to be bearish. So possibly, okay, energy sector, okay, I mean that energy sector, it is not equal to crude oil itself, even though that could be correlated but there are still equities, there are still stocks themselves, okay, there's still equities risk. So yeah, I'll a little bit hesitant to trade the energy ETF over there, the energy stocks over there, okay. All right, but okay, but there's always but, okay. divergence wise, okay, so crude oil itself, it is still remaining bullish. So the net premium, it is still positive. Net delta, it is still positive. 0 to 9 DTE, it is still positive. 10 to 60 days, it is still positive. Okay, so the 2 weeks flow, okay, reveals a sustained bullish conviction over there. So based on the strike price, okay, the out of the money, they are targeting 120 to 135 into April. Okay, 135 for crude oil USO. This is based on the USO. Yeah, so okay, this is 135. It is like last week, it is still remain there. So again, it depends on you whether you want to trade crude oil, because it is very volatile. I might not be touching now, okay? Because it's quite hard for me to put my stop loss. Price could go down and go straight up again. So it is quite volatile. So if you take a look at crude oil right now here, crude oil, it is actually positive now, still going higher, okay? So this is actually what the flow is telling me. So up to you when you want to, how to trade. It is entirely up to you. Okay, all right. And then for Bitcoin itself, okay, I think after a number of weeks, 2 to 3 weeks of bullishness, okay, I think this is the first week that it become bearish, the net intention. Okay, bearish. Okay, can see that the 0 to 9 DTE is negative. 10 to 60 days, it is also negative. Okay, so tilted towards the downside with immediate term, okay, with negative premium and delta under 60 days window. But long term wise, it still seem bullish. So for Ethereum, it is divergence again. Ethereum, it is more on the bullish side of things. Okay, but okay, all right. You know, you can see that Bitcoin surprisingly, okay, has been pretty bullish, okay, for the past 1 to 2 weeks or so. Okay, all right. You can see that, you know, so in hindsight, those, you know, so-called the accumulation seems to be correct. Okay, meaning that I think I've been mentioning that for the past 2 to 3 weeks, okay, crypto has been quite bullish based on the options flow. So you can see that price has been steadily going higher and such. Okay, so this is the first time that they are actually getting more bearish. And okay, if nothing's happen and price continue to go higher, okay, within the next 1 to 2 days, okay, there will be a potential star reversal signal again. So this time around, this will be a red one, so which means that this is a negative, okay, a bearish potential star reversal signal. Not yet, okay, but almost there. If price continues to go higher within the next 2 days or so, then the big will have the bearish, okay, potential star reversal signal. So it tells me once again, short term wise, okay, I mean that it's not advisable to chase. I mean that, you know, prior to that, if you do enter here, then now you want to enter, okay, then a bit 头脑派 okay, because you're chasing into the swing high already. Okay, all right. So I wouldn't be looking to long. If you, I say, if you really want to long, okay, I wouldn't be looking to long this coming week, okay, based on a swing trade perspective. Okay, all right, so this is the flow for Bitcoin wise. Okay, TLT I mentioned already could be bullish. Okay, FXI continue to be bearish. I won't go through that. Okay, so the IWM. Okay, let's head into the indices right now. IWM. Okay, it is actually mildly bearish. Okay, so 0 to 9 DTE, it is actually bullish, because this coming Friday, it is the triple reaching. 20th of March is like, you know, is the OPEX option expiration. Many things are expiring. Okay, all the ETF indices futures are expiring. So this could be a very big OPEX week. Okay, so you can see that heading to that, it is actually 0 to 9 DTE. It is positive. Okay, and then QQQ, okay, it is the most bearish ones. Okay, 0 to 9, it is actually very negative. Okay, all right, so you can see that, you know, is displaying a violently inverted time rate divergence. Market participants are showing long term is more bullish, but short term is actually very bearish. Okay, all right, so you can read through for those the alpha group. Okay, and SPY, okay, short term wise, it is actually bullish. So you can see that, you know, the combined indices analysis. Okay, the net intention, there is a tech drag into the QQQ. So it is actually very diverging. Okay, it is very diverging. So, okay, the path to the downside based on the AI analysis, okay, there is a possibility that, it could be upside. It is actually capped, okay, 65 possibility that it could go down, okay, right? Because in a correlated market, it is quite difficult for the S&P, okay, to rally higher, okay, all right, while the tech is suffocating now, okay, by this, downside bearish flow, okay. All right, so any early week rallies in tech likely to be faded, okay, while the IWM will be likely into a sideways chopping into Friday's bell. So which means that there is a possibility, okay, based on options flow, okay, the S&P 500, okay, could, okay, stage some rebound over there, okay, but the upside could be just capped. Okay, the upside could be just capped. So there could be some rebound, like, okay, what the price action is saying. Okay, there could be, star reversal signal, price could rebound. Okay, but I wouldn't expect that the rebound to be like very high heading into this week like that. Most likely, not like that. So price could be still choppy heading into OPEX, maybe grinding upside a little bit. Okay, maybe, okay, it won't crash down directly lah. Okay, I don't know whether you understand what I'm trying to say or not. Okay, yeah. So the overall, I think for this coming week, okay, I'm still wary of downside, but not overly bearish. Okay, because there are a few things. Okay, the market breadth based on price action, it is at a low. There's a potential star reversal signal. Options flow, even though QQQ it is actually bearish. QQQ is actually this. Okay, even though it is actually bearish, but the small cap and S&P seems to be still supported. So all in all, what I'm trying to say that, okay, this coming week, okay, the S&P, okay, possibly could have some rebound, but upside is capped. Upside is capped. So if you really want to go long, okay, you have to be very specific. Okay, you're going to go short, you have to go for those seasonally data that's weaker one. Okay, so for this coming week, okay, once again, okay, the screener doesn't have anything yet, the board. Okay, so I wouldn't be looking at, any equities to go long for this coming week. The only one that I would be looking possibly to go long, okay, would be actually the Tesla, which I mentioned. Okay, I forget, I'm jumping here and there because I forget about Tesla over there, which I haven't entered. Okay, Tesla, I think last week, okay, last Friday, okay, I mentioned about Tesla. Okay, Tesla options flow seems to be bullish, 0 to 9 to 10 to 60 days. Okay, all right, so the 20th OPEX is dominated by the options flow, fresh directional premium. Okay, so options flow still bullish for the near term. Okay, all right, so and looking at the seasonal data for Tesla, okay, March 18 to April the 2nd, based on the past historical record, it is actually bullish. So if you really ask me to go long, okay, I will be actually looking at Tesla only for this coming week, okay, unless the board tells me that there are other stocks to look at. So this is Tesla, okay. For now, you can see that it is actually resisted by the CPR level, okay. Potentially, there could be a wash and rinse this week also. So the low, it is actually 394.65. 394.65. Okay. All right. So let's see whether price can break higher and go higher this coming. But again, the upside could be capped. So you need to be a little bit more careful because I also, this this I mentioned this coming week, okay, could go higher indices, but upside could be capped. So maybe Tesla could still go higher, but if there's profit, okay, you might want to take profit off the table if there are profits to be made. Like for example, you have to wait until reward to risk ratio that is 2 or 3. Okay, even 1:1 risk to reward ratio, I will be happy to take if I were to enter Tesla. Okay, and the other one, of course, the watch list that I'll be looking at will be the TLT lah. Okay, TLT, it is actually this one. Okay, so basically this week watch list only 2 for now. looking at long on TLT and on Tesla. Okay, the rest not so keen yet unless the Alpha Bot screener tells me that there are other things to trade for now. Okay, all right. So just a recap: this coming Tuesday, tomorrow, there will not be any live stream. So yeah, so I will see you guys again next week. Okay, any question? I mean that for those inside the Alpha group chat, you can just message me. Okay, for those not inside the Telegram group chat, you know, in the members area, there's comment section. You can also always, you know, ask your comments over there as well. All right. So with that, okay, thanks. Okay, I'll see you guys again next week.